look at Floyd. Like, Floyd spends money like it's a tap. Like, he's got a tap, just like unlimited amount of money. Money's just flowing. And even as much money as he's made in his career, which he's probably made as much, if not more money than any boxer ever. Like, there's all these lawsuits. Like, he hasn't been paying things, and he owes money on this and owes money on that. And it's like, and then he's got to come out of retirement.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. I think it's just the lifestyle that Floyd lived.
Yes.
I think he can't fathom to just live a modest lifestyle. It's like he gotta be lavish.
Right. He's got to have those videos where he shows you all the watches, where he opens the case up, you know.
All the money. You gotta show that he got $1 million in his backpack. And, you know, he got the latest watch and the latest car, and look what I just bought.
And when you get into latest watches and latest cars, you get into that, like, boy, that money goes quick.
Yeah.
Bugattis are like $3 million. There's watches that are $3-5 million. That's crazy. So you buy a watch and a car, you're down 10. That's nuts.
Terrence Crawford joins Manny Pacquiao's training camp, helping him prepare both strategically and physically ahead of the anticipated fight against Floyd Mayweather Jr.
And one of the reasons why people watch him fight is not because he's like Mike Tyson, just goes out and destroys people. They like watching him fight because they hate him. Because he talks so much shit, and he's like, look at my $1 million watch, look at my fucking jet, look at my house, look at this. He's like constantly showing you all these things that he has. Like, he'll lay out watches in a hotel bed, like, this is $1 million worth of watches. This watch goes for $2 million. And they're like, this is my small watch that I take sometimes, but I want to show you, when I show up, I bring out the big boy, and it brings out this watch that's covered in diamonds. It's like $5 million. And so you hate him.
And that Floyd owes like $1.4 million in jewelry debts, that Floyd owed like hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent for a private New York apartment, his private jet fuel. He's not paid hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fuel and maintenance. He put up one of his jets that I think he even sold, but one of his jets, and I want to say one of his properties, like one of his homes, up as collateral for a $54 million loan from a individual, from a billionaire, that had a 9% interest on the loan.
The two fighters, once fierce rivals whose potential matchup fans had waited years to see, are now working side by side. Instead of competing against each other, they're supporting one another, sharing knowledge, exchanging techniques, and pushing each other to reach a higher level.
All that money to the IRS, how much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
No.
It's just neglect to
It's
pay.
neglect. And it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this. He makes so much money. There's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has $15 million worth of cars.
Congrats. You can sell those.
Crawford openly praises Pacquiao, calling him a generational legend whose skill, dedication, and accomplishments have inspired fighters all over the world.
Floyd Mayweather is made, and because he's the best in the history of pay-per-view at making sure that the money ends up in his pocket. He is or has been a businessman as an athlete that almost doesn't have a peer because he owns all his own stuff as an independent. Your spending has to be so fiscally irresponsible to lose the amount of money that Floyd Mayweather has lost that it is almost beyond anything that is reason. It's not merely fiscal insanity. It's something that doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. And another sign of him maybe in financial trouble is, as of February 2026, Floyd Mayweather has initiated a massive $340 million lawsuit against Showtime Networks and former executive Steven Espinoza. So he's trying to get some bread right now.
The estimate is that he made over $1.2 billion over the course of his career in just earnings from fight.
Max Kellerman says Crawford has reached the same elite level as Pacquiao, arguing that both fighters now stand on nearly equal ground, especially after Crawford's victories against top-level competition.
They said that, I mean, things that they said in this article were insane, that Floyd owes like $1.4 million in jewelry debts, that Floyd owes like hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent for a private New York apartment, his private jet fuel. He's not paid hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fuel and maintenance. He put up one of his jets that I think he even sold, but one of his jets and I want to say one of his properties, like one of his homes, up as collateral for a $54 million loan.
Kellerman explains that Pacquiao was originally credited as one of the first fighters to truly capture titles across 4 divisions, while Mayweather often receives similar credit after beating Canelo Alvarez. Kellerman argues that bout didn't occur at the full junior middleweight limit, which creates debate about how it should be counted. He then points to Crawford's achievements, highlighting his rise through multiple divisions, from lightweight to junior welterweight to welterweight, and eventually capturing a title at junior middleweight. According to Kellerman's analysis, Crawford's success across weight classes places him in rare company alongside legends like Pacquiao. Meanwhile, Pacquiao himself continues training intensely for the possible rematch with Mayweather, focusing heavily on strength, speed, and endurance to ensure peak performance.
What's wrong with that? And why are we attempting to tease Floyd? Is Floyd Mayweather? Yes, he's broke. Of course he's broke. He's a boxer. That they say can't read. That's not to tease him. They say that he can't read. His best friend at the time said that he can't read, and he never denied it. I don't tease him for it. He was a guy who grew up in a boxing channel, right? It's one of these things. You know what you know. You know what you were taught. I didn't teach him about contracts. I didn't teach him about saving. I didn't teach him about investments. Who would have taught him these things? Of course he's broke.
During training camp, Pacquiao spends long sessions on pad work, sharpening his combinations, improving his timing, and maintaining the precision and power that defined his championship career.
Gambling addict. He got baby mamas all over the way. What do you mean is he broke? Of course he's broke. What boxer do you know that isn't broke? What a ridiculous question. But it's the fact that they're attempting to tease him. I mean, first off, they're asking the question. Look, I've told you until I'm blue in the face. The numbers that you hear in boxing simply aren't true. Floyd made $1 billion. No, he didn't. Floyd and Conor made $500 million. No, they didn't. Of course they didn't. Nobody's ever confirmed that. And it's the same thing with the check. I got $100 million for a fight. Oh, you did? Who signed the check? Whoever signed the check is going to want credit for it. There's never been a time that $1 million check was written and the dude that wrote the check didn't make sure that somebody found out he wrote the check. So who wrote the check? Floyd's got a whole bunch of them, apparently. He got $1 billion. Who wrote the check?
Pacquiao believes this time around he is better prepared, with years of experience behind him and adjustments made since their first meeting. He feels confident he can show growth and deliver a different performance in the ring.
And I'm only sharing with you, like, the numbers aren't what you think they are, right? The numbers are good and they made a lot of money, but it's not what you think it is. And yeah, of course Floyd's broke. Would you be boxing if you weren't? And it's very tough to be sympathetic.
Consistency remains central to Pacquiao's preparation. Every training session ends with disciplined conditioning work, stick drills, footwork routines, and endurance exercises, ensuring he stays sharp and ready for the challenge ahead.
Mayweather owes Logan Paul $1.3 million. No, he doesn't. Just to clear that up, no, he doesn't. Will Logan ever get the money? I think Floyd's broke. Floyd does not owe Logan $1.3 million. Floyd's promotion owes Logan $1.3 million. And no, of course he's not going to get it. That promotion's already shut down. Allegedly, by the way.
Teddy Atlas offered a detailed breakdown comparing Mayweather and Pacquiao, highlighting the strengths and weaknesses of both legends. He began with age, giving both fighters an even mark as experienced veterans. When analyzing wear and tear, Atlas noted Mayweather has fewer miles on his body due to his defensive style, giving him a slight advantage. For reflexes and timing, Pacquiao received the edge because he's remained more active recently, facing opponents like Mario Barrios, while Mayweather's inactivity could slightly affect his timing early in a fight. Atlas also pointed out Pacquiao's natural punching power, while Mayweather's size and control balance that factor. When it comes to speed, both fighters earn credit, Mayweather for his smooth, fluid movement, and Pacquiao for his explosive hand and foot speed. Defensively, Mayweather stood out as a master technician, although Pacquiao remains a very capable defender as well.
Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco suggested on their podcast that Floyd Mayweather is talking about coming back, unretiring.
He is.
Because he's broke.
Yeah.
Let's play the clip here of Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco.
There are only 3 fights that Floyd can have that can command and get the kind of money he's looking to recoup for money that may have been lost, or money that may have been stolen, or money he may have spent, to date. For one, a rematch with Canelo. That's one fight.
Canelo too big.
Listen to me, Uncle. We talk about making that money. He ain't gonna have no choice.
Conditioning slightly favored Pacquiao because of his recent full training camp and competitive activity, though Mayweather has always maintained excellent physical shape. For the mental edge, Atlas acknowledged that Mayweather might hold a psychological advantage after winning their first fight. Still, Pacquiao's recent activity keeps him sharp. In the end, Atlas emphasized that styles ultimately determine outcomes, noting that Mayweather's defensive approach could create problems while Pacquiao's rhythm and aggression remain dangerous. His final verdict was essentially a draw, suggesting the matchup's complexities would continue to spark debate among fans.
$1 billion, and he's 47 years old, and he's completely broke. He's won the prize. This is, of all the idiots that we've seen out there, celebrities, actors, entertainers that have lost a lot of money, this guy would take the cake. To blow a bill before he even hits 50 is unimaginable. It actually is sad. It's a cautionary tale. We have seen it time and time again. But who actually wants to watch this guy fight? Like, people that love him. If he comes out and if he loses and looks terrible and gets destroyed, well, look, if you love him or hate him, you can say, well, he's nearly 50 years old. This doesn't prove anything.
Adideo Oladipo questioned why the spotlight continues to focus on older legends like Mayweather, pointing out that by the time another fight happens, he could be approaching 49 years old. Oladipo argued that boxing should start highlighting its new generation of stars, mentioning fighters such as Ryan Garcia, Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis, Devin Haney, and Teofimo Lopez.
Part of that is because of the way Floyd Mayweather goes about his business. He's been filthy rich. He's made his name, his legacy, and a lot of his reputation wasn't just the boxing. It was the money. It's the money man. What I have, what I'm driving, what I'm living in, what I'm flying in. And a lot of people, they don't like that. I don't know if Floyd Mayweather had more supporters for most of his fights or more haters. But regardless of where you fall on that line, Floyd Mayweather made it work for him when many people, promoters included, networks included, early on didn't think that he can.
As the sport's exciting future, he acknowledged Pacquiao's impressive condition following the performance against Barrios, but questioned whether Mayweather's exhibition-level activity could translate into a truly competitive fight. In the end, he suggested that while the bout could still generate massive paydays, it might feel more like a high-profile sparring session than a traditional championship clash.